Hey everybody, welcome into the Arena Fantasy Series discussion portal. I'm your host Xpad, along with my co-host Burley, and we're here to talk about the final episode of season 1 of House of the Dragon, the Black Queen. So Burley, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, a little tired, but how are you, Xpad?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. I'm ready to talk about House of the Dragon because now we have the first season under the belt. Now it's finished. And so, we're going to break down this final episode of the season, and it's probably going to be another long night, Burley, because
Oh yeah.
season 2 we're probably not going to get until like 2024, just like the Rings of Power, most likely.
Well, I
You
think
know,
they,
so-
I think HBO has said you're not getting it next year. It's not till 2024 because I've
Right.
heard a lot of people saying 2024.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
which
So
makes
another
sense.
another long night. Yep, makes sense.
Yeah.
But another long night. Yeah. So anyway, before we get into it, just want to let everybody know out there, whether you're new to the channel or you're a subscriber coming back, this episode of House of the Dragon, our breakdown of season 1, episode 10, will be spoiler filled. So if you have not watched episode 10 of season 1 of House of the Dragon, of course, please go and watch that first before coming back and enjoying our breakdown of the episode, because we don't want to spoil anything for you. So that is your spoiler warning. So with that, Burley, let's get into it. So obviously, the beginning of the episode, we get Rhaenys, and she comes to Dragonstone to warn Rhaenyra and Daemon that the Greens are coming. And Daemon was pretty pissed off. He was pretty angry. He was like me, wondering why she didn't just burn them all and get it over with.
Yeah, I like that Damon instantly just brings that up. And I love earlier, he's just like, they let you go?
Yeah.
It basically being like, did you promise to sell us out?
Yeah.
She's like, no, I escaped, you idiot.
Yeah.
He's like, you had a chance to burn them, not my war.
Right.
But you know what? With the way you exited, you made it your war. No offense, because you think Alicent, Otto, and Aegon are going to be like, she didn't kill us. She killed some of our civilians. We're just going to let her do nothing.
Right.
Do nothing. No, she's on the hit list.
Yeah. But then, of course, with all of the stress and everything from what Rhaenys tells Rhaenyra goes into labor early. And obviously we see her, and she wouldn't get assistance from her handmaids and all, or I guess you could call them nurses, Westerosi nurses, I guess. But she wasn't having any of that, and I think the reason for that, Burley, is because she does not want to end up like her mother, obviously. So, she had said previously that, I'm not going to end up like my mother. I'm not my mother. And I think just forcing the baby out, I think kind of in the back of her mind, it was how her mother died. What do you feel about that?
Yeah, that's a good way of looking at it. She just wanted to get the baby out. She didn't want to have this happen where the baby gets stuck and they have to cut her open, try and save the baby, and she dies.
Right.
So I get it, and it is sad to see that unfortunately the baby does not survive. But I do like that the moment of just her hearing the news, just the complete shock of it all, just sends her spiraling down, and she's wanting Daemon. But because Daemon's like, no, my brother's dead. This is the excuse I've wanted to now I can raise hell and I can fight them all.
Yeah.
Daemon is just all preparing for war. And you've got her son, Rhaenyra's sons.
Yeah.
Just basically trying to be the oldest one going to Daemon and being like, no action till my mother.
Yeah. So, and what was interesting too about Daemon is that he thinks that the Hightowers murdered the series. That's what he thinks. Of course, Rhaenys, she didn't know exactly how he died because Daemon asked her, and she, of course, told her what happened. From the events in episode 9 where she gets locked in her room and everything. And it was pretty crazy.
Can you blame, David is wrong, but can you blame him?
Exactly. I mean, yeah, it almost seems like that's kind of the way he died in a sense, but yeah. So anyway, we move on. Obviously, of course, and Daemon escorts, Lucerys out, into the field there, and good old Caraxes comes up, and Daemon is basically giving the two King's Guards, a choice to renew their vows to Rhaenyra or die. It's like, you'll have a quick death, if you want, or you can swear your fealty again and all that. And he's like saying to Jake, it's like, this is loyalty, boy. Yeah, what'd you think of that?
I like that scene. Like, I get it. As Daemon is kind of, because he is also wanting power too.
Yeah.
But he is trying to defend his family here. He does have two small young children with Rhaenyra, so he knows anyone here there, if you can't fully trust them, they're a liability. So it's a good little way to scare the hell out of someone. Be like, yeah, you're either with us or you're dragon chow.
Exactly. I like how you said that, dragon chow. Yeah. That's good, man. All right. So, and then obviously during the funeral of Visenya, because that's what in the books, that's what Rhaenyra had named the baby that had been stillborn. It was a girl, and she would have been named Visenya. Of course, after Aegon Targaryen the Conqueror's sister, whom he married, Visenya, one of them. But then, obviously, one of the twins that was in the King's Guard from the previous episode that was looking for Aegon, obviously, he didn't like Aegon, and so he, of course, escaped the city with Viserys' crown and comes to Dragonstone, and during the funeral, he comes up and gives the crown to Rhaenyra, and Daemon crowns Rhaenyra as Queen of the Seven Kingdoms. What did you think? And then everybody bends the knee. What did you think of that part, Burley?
I like that. And then, like, as soon as he, he gives her the crown, he explains himself. He's like, and it's like the polar opposite of Aegon's.
Yeah.
Because, Christian Cole just puts it on him and, just doesn't say anything. He gives her the crown. He recites his vows as a King's Guard, or in Queen's Guard in this case.
Yeah.
And I really like that it's different.
Yeah. Yeah, I really like this part too. It was the whole season coming, basically. It's her birthright and all, and she is the rightful heir. That is what her father wanted, and so to have her father's crown put on her head, I'm sure that was a really, really emotional moment for Rhaenyra. And so then we get back to, of course, the Black Council, in the main hall in Dragonstone there. And, of course, Rhaenyra comes in, and then they get to the table, and they start, of course, negotiating and talking about, allies and things like that. But I want to get into the scene with Rhaenyra and Daemon again, as they get into another confrontation about going to war. Now, Rhaenyra is kind of like, she's hesitant to go to war. She doesn't want to make the first strike. And so she wants to basically figure out who her allies are. But then, Daemon is like, we should strike, and we should, they are usurpers. As the queen, you are supposed to, destroy, the rebellion and stuff. And so she says, clear the room. And then they all leave. And then she starts to mention the Song of Ice and Fire to Daemon. And Daemon had not known about that because Viserys had never told him. Viserys never trusted him enough to tell him the secret of the Song of Ice and Fire, which he, of course, told to Rhaenyra, who who he had named his heir, and it was passed down from generation to generation of heirs, right? And so that really pissed off Daemon, and so he grabs her at the throat and basically said Viserys was just He was too much into his dreams, and he didn't think enough about, protecting the realm in a sense. And he was really angry at the fact that Viserys, his older brother, did not tell him about this. What did you think of that scene?
I really like this because it's just a lot going on. You've got Rhaenyra. Now that she is thrust into the role, I think she's a little bit unsure of, oh God, can I do this?
Yeah.
She's now not only dealing with the grief of her father dying.
Yeah.
She just lost a child.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? Like she's that's enough to, like, a lot of people would just be bedridden for a while.
Yeah.
But she's got all these people clamoring to her. She's got her husband that's just wanting to just go grab all these dragons. Like he tells you on the thing, oh, we go here, we can grab these 3 dragons, and then we can just burn everyone.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, because she doesn't want the destruction. And then she goes to Daemon, calls him out on her shit. Like, I think this is a few things here with Daemon. He is we know he wants power.
Yeah.
That's been his whole thing.
Yeah.
It also shows that I think he's, because he can't handle that his brother is gone. Yeah. He's just got to put himself in this mindset to just, okay, I can forget about it. So let me just throw myself into work here mode and just think about killing everyone.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, of course, at the end there, before he lets her go, he's like, dreams didn't make us kings. Dragons did. Yeah. I thought that was pretty cool.
He's not wrong. And like the prophecy, like I get it. They're going to keep bringing it up.
Yeah.
I kind of just like, it's a rubbing salt in the, yeah, I know. It's rubbing salt in the wound because of how that all ended in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
But I do like that Daemon's like, no, that Viserys, my brother he is what he was. He was what he was. But he was much of a dreamer, and he let a lot of conflict and shit happen.
Yeah.
And he's not wrong. He let the High Towers really come in and just take over.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I love my models of my history and all that. And there's nothing wrong with that. But you let the realm get to such a bad place to where this civil war can happen.
Yeah, he was too kind, he didn't see ahead in that sense. But anyway, let's move on. So then, of course, we get out, on the ledges of Dragonstone there. Of course, Otto Hightower comes, and then he gives, the terms that Aegon supposedly sets out and everything. And Daemon just wants to cut his head off right there. And Rhaenyra, she comes on her dragon and then comes up and basically, runs up to him and says, you're a traitor and you don't deserve to wear that Hand of the King pin, and just takes it off him and throws it into the water. I love that part.
That was like a 10 out of 10 scene there, just right there.
Yeah. And then of course, then he plays the other hand, the sympathy hand, and has the maester come up and give the piece of the history book from, I think it was like in the first episode, if I'm mistaken, let us know in the comments. But I think it was the first episode where they were sitting under the Godswood there, and they were doing their history lesson or whatever, and then Rhaenyra tears a page out, when they were kids, and so Otto gives her that page, and tries to make her think that, Alicent is really hoping to connect with you again and hoping that you come back to King's Landing and stuff like that. And then she kind of freezes there and says, okay, you'll have my answer on the morrow. And then they go back, up to the courtroom there. But what did you think of that scene, Burley?
I really like this because this is a reverse kind of parallel to, what was it, episode 3 or 4, with when Daemon was here and they had the negotiations with Daemon to get the egg back.
Yeah. And Rhaenyra flies up and then comes and just gets in his face.
Yeah. This I liked. I really like that. I think this is all Otto here. None of this is Alicent here. This all smells of Otto here, because he is the manipulator of it.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I think he had this because he was hoping, because of the death of her father, he knew she'd be in shock.
Right.
He knew how Daemon was going to react. Daemon's all impulsive. Daemon's wanted to kill Otto so many times.
Yeah.
He's just
Yeah.
Daemon will use any excuse to kill Otto.
Right.
So, but I like that he just plays this thing from the book from the first. I believe you're right. It is the first episode, and trying to get her off guard and be like, "Here, your children." He's like, "We're willing to make your children be safe here. You don't bother us. We don't bother you.
Yeah.
You live out here. You stay safe. We don't care."
Yeah.
And so then Rhaenyra, you can tell she's actually really considering this because she knows what's so civil about war, and it's just like,
right,
all her children are at risk.
Right. And then, of course, we get the scenes with Rhaenys and her husband Corlys. Obviously, Corlys did not die, and so his fever broke, and he comes to Dragonstone, and he meets with Rhaenyra and the and those in the, of course, I'm going to call it the war room now. But anyway, they're at the table there, and he gives his support of the Valyrian fleet, obviously, to Rhaenyra. And he also tells her and everybody standing there that the Stepstones has now been fortified, and they finally have kind of a garrison there now, and that they can control all of the sea trade. And so basically they can cut off King's Landing of any kind of supplies. What did you think of that part?
I like that. And what I really liked is just before that, him and his wife having the conversation of like, you know what, I'm done trying to get the Iron Throne. And you know that we've lost both our children for this. Yeah. And then he's like, at first wanting to sound like we should just strike out on our own here. Yeah, and was upset at Rhaenyra, like anybody that she comes in contact with, it's like, it's bad luck. He's not wrong. Yeah, he's not wrong, but then Rhaenys tells him that she's the only one right now that's keeping the realm together. Yeah, not going to war. And I do like that she's calling him out on it and being like, when I needed you, when our son died, our daughter died, and all this, you went out to sea. You just abandoned me. I love that dynamic. I love their relationship. Yeah. And that they're both have no problem saying to each other what's on their mind and all that. Right. And as you can see in the image here, you get the table. Obviously, this table is in Game of Thrones, obviously, even through season 8, I should say. But this was so cool how like they lit the candles and the fire and they put it underneath the table to make it glow like that. That was really, really cool, and so they start putting the pieces on the table, like, with Winterfell. So we're definitely getting Winterfell in season 2. And just like you said, A Song of Ice and Fire is going to come up again, I'm sure, when they go to get the support of the Starks. And then, of course, they're talking about, of course, the House of Aaron, obviously, in the Vale, and obviously Storm's End with the Baratheons and all. And so that comes into play as well. Whereas Daemon, he's out looking for more dragons. And it was so cool. Like, he goes into the cave there. I mean, he's got guts, man. I mean, he's just like singing in High Valyrian, and everything. And he puts the torch down, and then that big dragon just waiting for him, man. What do you think of that? Yeah. I like that. And he's just trying to communicate to the dragon, show their bond and all that. Yeah. And I'm just going to go back 1 second here. I do like them talking about the different houses and her mentioning my mother was an Arryn. Right. So they will pledge for me. And then she's like, the Starks, I've never known a Stark to never break its oath. Right. Baratheon, however, but they share blood. Of course, Rhaenys obviously is related to the Baratheons. So, it'll be interesting as we go on, and we're going to talk about the Baratheons in a little bit here. But I love this scene, though. Of course, the image of the dragon here. I love that scene when they show the dragon's eye, and then they show Daemon's eye, and the dragon's eye like reflecting through it.
at that one little shot there. I thought that was so cool. Yeah. So anyway, we get to Storm's End. Obviously, Rhaenyra, basically Lucerys and Jacaerys are like, send us to go out because we have dragons and we can get there faster than ravens can. And so Rhaenyra, agrees and decides to send Jacaerys up north. First, I think it was to the Vale up into the north, whereas Lucerys was to go to Storm's End to meet with the Baratheons. And guess who is waiting for him at Storm's End? Good old Aemond One Eye. But now he has a sapphire put in that eye socket. Yeah. I mean, this is the thing, Burley. And for all of you out there, let us know in the comments what you thought of this. When Lucerys saw in the storm, or actually when he first got to Storm's End, and he gets off his dragon, and he's going up with the guards to go through the gate. What dragon does he see like standing up there? He sees Vhagar. So you know that Aemond is already there. So why doesn't he turn around, get back on his dragon, and get the hell out of there and go back to Dragonstone and warn his mother?
Yeah, that I don't get. Like, seriously, that was just we were talking a little bit earlier before we recorded, and it's like you knew he was going to die because you like but him going there, just flying, you see the big dragon, just the shadow of it, because of the whole rain and everything. That should put your danger meter up, but he's only doing this because he thinks, I can't let my mother down. And then he goes there and he goes into the throne room there. Sees Aemond there, and he knows Aemond wants to get him bad.
Yeah, wants his eye. Wants one of his eyes. Yeah.
In the past, and it's just like, you just the moment goes off, and like they literally could have just had a neon sign coming down saying, "You were dead." Like.
Yes. Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, when you see Vhagar, you know that Aemond is there. And you know, with the past history, it's not going to go down good. So it's like, maybe I better go back. But no, he goes in. He's got guts. He goes in and he gives the message to, the head of the Baratheons now, who is the son of the previous Baratheon from the earlier episodes. And he's not having it because obviously he's got the daughters there and they're going to be wed. And of course, Aemond is there and they've already given their proposals and all. And then of course he's like asking Lucerys, who are you going to wed of these daughters? These girls. And he's like, I'm already betrothed, and then it's like, well, then you have nothing, boy. Go back, and tell your mom that, I'm not to be had. And so then that's when Aemond is like, nope, stop, Lord Strong, and he's like, an eye for an eye, baby, give me that eye. I won't blind you. I just want one. And he's like, nope. And he goes out. Yeah. And then the hunt pursues. And then obviously, I mean, It's interesting. So Lucerys' dragon actually burns Vhagar in the face, gets him in his face, and he's obviously much smaller dragon, so he can maneuver a lot better than Vhagar can. But boy, I have to say this about Aemond. Aemond cannot control Vhagar 100%. Because after he got burned in the face, man, Vhagar was pissed. And Vhagar just would not listen to Aemond after that. And then he just caught him off guard, and just one chomp, man. Just one chomp just killed him and the dragon. And he ate Lucerys basically in that one chomp. Yeah. And then like Aemond is just like, is just on Vhagar's, back and just in disbelief basically. And so they're making it out in the series. They're making it out like, Aemond didn't want to kill him, but it was Vhagar who he lost control of that did all the damage. I don't know. What do you think, Burley?
I just want to go back one moment to in the throne room. I like that. he tells Aemond, no, you're not having this shit. But he's like, but he's basically saying, I'll let you do it in the sky because I can't control the sky. You guys do that shit in the sky, but not in my hall.
Yeah.
I do like that. But like, yeah, I think they said it earlier in the episode and in earlier episodes, these things are beasts. You never fully control them.
Yeah.
So, and it's also, I think it is a little bit of a, because I know they say have that connection, not like I think it's like a telepathic connection. Aemond didn't want to kill him. Aemond wanted him to take him hostage. Yeah. Like if he couldn't get the eye, take him hostage because that is a better move for them. Yeah. Killing him, unfortunately, means the first blood has been spilt.
That's right.
And now, as much the politicking that's going on right now it pretty much leads to war is going to happen. But this kid had no chance in the air.
Yeah.
Like his I don't know if I can't remember if he said Dracarys to burn the dragon, but it was like you shouldn't have tried to fight. You should have tried to fly away.
Yeah.
You should have, like, when he goes to his dragon to get out of there, like, he's like, his dragon's all scared and everything. And it's like, because he's scared shitless and he knows that big dragon there, Aemond there, he's dead.
Yeah. Well, Vhagar is the biggest dragon in the world. I mean, Vhagar was one of the three dragons that conquered Westeros with Aegon the Conqueror. So I mean, it's over 150 years old, that dragon. So, I mean, whereas Lucerys' dragon is still, practically a baby. Yeah. But anyway, so we get to the end of the episode. Obviously, Daemon comes up, and all the music's playing and all. And he basically tells Rhaenyra that Lucerys is dead. And then she basically in agony there, and then she turns around and you see her in this last scene of the episode and of the season here. And basically you see the new Mad Queen. I mean, Go ahead.
I don't know Mad Queen necessarily. She's like she realized, okay, now we can't just peacefully going about things.
No,
it's not going to work. It won't work. Time for peace is over.
Yep.
Time for war begins now.
Yeah.
And as I do like this shot to end on, but I think it would have, just in my personal taste, like, I get it, you have to have this as a great end shot, but just having the reaction of Aemond of like, oh my god, what have I done? What has happened here? Ending, I think, might have been a little bit stronger in my choice.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I mean, this scene, I say Mad Queen because, she's mad and she's angry now. And basically that means, like you said, first blood has been spilled and, it's on now, So the dance of the dragons begins now. And obviously we're going to get that in season 2, obviously. And like we said at the beginning of the episode, we're probably not getting season 2 until 2024. But those of you that have read the book, Fire and Blood, it's going to happen. But for all of you who have not read the book and are just watching the series, you're in for a treat because season 2 is going to be action-packed. For sure. So we're looking forward to that. And we're looking forward to bringing you House of the Dragon season 2 when it does come. And let us know what you thought of the season finale and what you thought of the season overall in the comments. We'd really like to hear from you. And if you're new to the channel or if you're already a subscriber, be sure to hit that like. And of course, those of you that are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell for when we drop a new episode of the Arena Fantasy Series discussion portal, as well as all of our other content here on the Arena Productions. We'd really, of course, love to have you back, and we appreciate all of your support. So thank you so much. I've been your host, Expat, along with my co-host, Burley. So thank you so much for watching our House of the Dragon episodes, and we're looking forward to bringing you more when season 2 comes along. And of course, all of our other shows here on, of course, the Arena Fantasy Series discussion portal. Obviously, The Witcher season 3 is going to be coming. We're going to be covering that as well. as well as the Rings of Power season 2. But like House of the Dragon, probably 2024 for that. But anyway, take care, and thank you for watching. We hope to catch you in the next one. Peace out.
Take care, everyone.